Alright, see if we can get some microphone action here. Alright, I think we got this part working. Say apologies if levels are a little off. I'm going to adjust these right now. Alright, sorry about that. Say technology is getting the better of me right now, so going to go back to old reliable for the moment. Qualifying is underway here, so again, welcome to the Area 51 Racing League here on Green White Checker TV. Tonight we have the Superspeedway Cup Series at Talladega. Say drivers are making their qualifying laps right now. So I believe it's going to be a 75 lap race, and I believe qualifying just finished actually, so the timing is perfect here. So let's go ahead and go over our starting grid. So pole sitter for this evening is going to be the number 1 of Gabe Butler. Let's say, let me get this going here. There we go. Say apologies for this. I'm all thrown off right now with all these little hiccups. Alright, so on the pole position you have the number 1 of Gabe Butler. Starting in the second place you have Rick McKinney. In third place you have Raymond Rittenauer. In fourth you have Jimmy Crow. In the fifth position you have Kevin Hash. In sixth Bud Steele. Seventh position is Jack Walls. In eighth is Joe Delavecchia. And then rounding out the top 10 you have Corey Lane and Eric Laurie. So we'll go through the rest of the field. We have 22 drivers taking part this evening. It's like 14 drivers put down a qualifying lap, and then from 15th through 22nd, they are going ahead and grid here by the order that they were in the server. So we'll see how that gets going here tonight. So let's go ahead and see if we can grab our pole sitter real quick, Gabe Butler. So just give me a moment here. So I'll make sure I don't catch him mid-interview or anything like that. Gotta make sure that's all working right. Actually, before I do that, I gotta make sure, yep, that's all working correctly. Alright, so we're gonna pull up the pole sitter here, that number 1 of Gabe Butler. So I'll say congrats on the pole first off, and then secondly, what's the game plan for this evening?
Try and stay up front as long as I can, and get our pit strategy right, and hopefully we can keep it where we need to be.
Do you have, so there is kind of a fuel window you'll be aiming for this evening?
Yeah, but I haven't really calculated it yet. I'll know after a few laps here.
10-4. I'll let you keep it top secret if that's a nice way of saying that too. So as I see you guys are getting going here, so I'll let you get back there and focus. And good luck this evening.
And thanks for the broadcast. You're doing an awesome job.
I appreciate it. Alright, so that was our pole sitter, the number 1, Gabe Butler. I say he will be starting on the pole position next to that 029 of Rick McKinney. Again, so we're going to have 75 laps here at Talladega. Let's say, again, here at Area 51 Racing League, there are 2 faster pairs and up to 3 green-white checkers. Plate racing is definitely one where you can see that happening, so say hopefully for those of you that I believe are probably caught on the rain delay, unfortunately, at the Charlotte race, I'll say appreciate you guys if you're enjoying the fun over here. And I say get going here in just a moment. To say again, apologies for the last minute kind of hiccups that I was going through here. But I say thank you all for joining us here at Green White Checker TV for the Area 51 Racing League. And yeah, say I'm excited to see how this one goes. I say I had to switch my headset real temporarily, so hopefully it was working all right. I have a fancy one on its way, hopefully Friday, pending shipping delays and all that. But yeah, say looking forward to this evening. And I say for me, I prefer Talladega over this first Daytona just because it's that little bit wider. It makes it that much easier to go 3 wide. I say I've never been a fan of running up against the wall, but I feel a little more comfortable when I do that here at Talladega. So we'll see what these guys are able to do here as they're coming around. So you see the pace car pull off. They're going to go all the way around the tri-oval, and then once they get through the tri-oval, they're going to go ahead and get that green flag, and they'll get back after here. So again, you get the 1 of Gabe Butler on the pole position. Raymond Rittenauer right behind him, and then on the top row you have the 029 of Rick McKinney and Jimmy Crow on the outside there. see what these guys are able to do here. Just waiting for that green flag. There it is. Green flag is out. So you can see they're pulling away here. As they are getting right off the bat, you can see that 87 right to the back bumper of the one car. That's going to really help that one car of Gabe Butler take the lead here. A lot of momentum right there, as you can see as they go through here. It's going to push even the 87 here through into the second position. So we're going to keep an eye as these guys progress and see if there's any strategies possibly about who wants to go where, if they're just going to ride on the bottom, if they're going to kind of jump around to the top. Right now you can see that 87 just locked onto that back bumper of the one car as they go through turns 3 and 4. So you see that 0-3 of Kevin Nash is just squeezing in there. He might be able to actually, if he gets a good enough run, he could lead that top line if he wants to. Be curious to see what some of these guys strategy-wise are. But you can see right now, everybody's pretty much lined up 2 by 2. You see a few drivers a little further back. They're just kind of cruising right now. Again, 75 laps this evening. A lot of time to make things happen here. And of course, at plate racing, the 22nd position, be able to get all the way back up to the front. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see as things progress here. Let's say the pit strategy and getting in and out of the pits quickly and efficiently is going to be the key. And of course, having somebody to be part of that by yourself, otherwise you will fall to the back, unfortunately. So but right now you see everybody's going 2 by 2. Pretty calm at the moment up front here. Sight line starting to get a little bit of momentum. You can see that getting shoved from the 21 of Jimmy Crow. So as they go through the trial, though, not quite enough to get to the lead. But you can see right here they're starting to go 2 by 2. A little bit, something looked like they made a peak there. See if they can make that a lot better of it right now. But yeah, the other thing you can see is with that 87 Raymond right now, tucked up so close to the back of that one car. He's got to keep an eye on his gauges, make sure he's not running too hot. So we actually let's hop on the 87 car. So unfortunately, this will give us the numbers. Let's say it'll be kind of have a little bit more for us at the moment. He's got a little bit of a gap there, as you can see our manager. His goal is he's going to be watching that oil temperature. So you can see just inside the right hand is the oil temperature, water temperature, the left leg is oil pressure and water pressure. Those are those critical things we're going to keep an eye on. That oil temperature is finding that's kind of the telltale of when that getting expired. So you guys tend to stay locked on too long, maybe about a lap or two, otherwise it's just hot at that point. But right now, as I said, all that was going on. So you see Jimmy Crow kind of got shuffled out there. So now you got Bud Steele here up. As you see Michael Steele coming to the top line there. But you see Bud Steele giving a big push to that 029 as they make some progress here through the turns 3 and 4. So you got Bud in that Navy number 6 car. Right behind him, you've got Joe De La Vecchia. So right now, these guys are starting to kind of get lined up and organized pretty well right now. Bottom line still is a few more cars and a little bit closer. You can see Bud right now, what he's doing is kind of peeking out a little bit, then he drops back in, picks up that draft. Again, they say he's got to make sure he keeps a little bit of air on the nose so he doesn't get too hot though. You can see just that little bit of separation that they had on that previous lap though, that really pushes them away back. He's able to lock on again. We'll see if he's able to make a second charge here. And so you can see a couple of those guys just to the end of the group here. Just kind of Dwight Clutch, Jim Brooks, Andrew Schroeder, Paul Patterson, and Timothy Wright. They're just kind of hanging out right now. Probably saving fuel as well, and then just in a safe spot in case something does happen. Which, as I say that, Bud still gets a big wiggle there, able to keep it straight there. But I'm sure that got a lot of people's attention there. Looks like Bud's going to rethink that and go up to the top bottom line there, or the middle line I should say. However, so it looks like Bud's going to have a friend up top there. Charles Johnson. Saying those two will definitely work well together. See if that is Charles indeed up top. That is. So they'll hop on board here with Charles Johnson. Watching the top line here. I'm talking about that 3 wide that you can do show right now. So that top line, so you can see the momentum that they're able to get here. Obviously right now everybody's going to make sure that they're making careful giving each other's space. And you can see right now you got 3 on the top, 3 in the middle, and then a big on the bottom. But right now, as they go through the line there, I think Bud Steele may have just got the lead that time by. But you see again, 3 by 3 right now. And we get the second or the third group as well about to join in there to make it 3 by 3 by 3. So right now though that tight car just staying just out of the group there. That's Jimmy Crow. Say that just back to the top side, trying to grab these guys back on again here. And then again, looks like so right now this is where the battle is for the lead here. These guys as they go through. Unfortunately for Bud and Charles, looks like they've lost a little bit of the help that they needed. But as soon as I say that, somebody else is going to jump up here and try to take a charge. And that's going to be that 052 of Joe Della Vecchia. So we'll see if now if Bud's going to try to grab onto the back of that 052 and give him a push. Or it looks like they're kind of ready to fall back to the middle here. So I think that white charge is kind of falling out now. And yeah, indeed it has. So that's going to now put Eric Laurie up into that second as they go back to 2 by 2 there. But I say, so that was what I was talking about. You can see how wide there with still a good gap between the cars. So I mean, this is definitely a much more forgiving track for 3-wide racing than Daytona. But at the same time, it's always fun to try to get in those dicey situations with some of these cars. So right now you can see everybody's kind of spread out a little bit. So you can see Jim Brooks kind of leading that second group there, kind of right in the middle between the two. Probably one of the safer places you can be at that point, other than maybe where Timothy Wright is in that double zero. He's riding all the way in the back. Just cruising right now again, trying to stay safe though. I'm watching that Eric Laurie in the 071. He's giving a big push to the 029 of Rick McKinney. He's going to try to see if he can push this top line here to the front. The 029 just has a nose up front as they get through the backstretch here. Again, not quite enough to clear him, but if they can stay connected like they are through 3 and 4, that might be enough to get Rick up into that top spot. But right now it looks like they were separated a little bit. So now it's just going to be all about who gets attached to the best. And right now that bottom line is looking a little bit stronger. But you can see just how close they are. And you also see on that bottom side, there's a bit of a bump there as you go through the trial, but especially on the bottom, it really upsets these cars. So that's something they'll have to be careful about as well. So the other thing you see a little bit Raymond Rittenauer, he's kind of trying to stay a little, maybe a half a groove or so to the side of that one car. That's going to also get some more air to him, but still be able to stay tucked up pretty well. But as I say, that right now, really good connection between those two as they make another charge here through the backstretch. These guys are doing a really good job here, staying connected and really running well right now. It's like all these cars here are all in the second cut and half of the lead. So it actually looks like one right now fell off a little bit. It's Kyle Hess in the 86. I think he's just kind of going back to control there. So as they come across the line, here we are completed lap 11 of 75. So we got 65 to go. Get a really good start there. You can see if you're thinking about making that top side happen. Say, that might be Charles Johnson again there. We're going to hop on board here with Eric Laurie. So he's and that's all you see if you're pushing this car in front of you. This is spoiler. So say it's here. The second car, they hook up here and go, but here's that third or fourth car back. It's a little dice, and as I said, they're making really good initiative. But trial this time by, it's not a good looks like we got another 3-wide attempt going, possibly. Looks like he didn't get any help there, unfortunately, so that's going to start shuffling down the yes, so you can see he went to the top of 3. So he's going to fall all the way back here to about that 20th position or so. But right now, though, say again, they're still... Let's see if we can check on the leaders of how this run has gone so far. I want to see if anybody else has loved the race. I say they've been so close at the line. So there have been 3 to 2, so I'm going to say that's probably Bud Steele able to snag one, and then right now also Rick McKinney getting one as well. And you can see they're starting to get a little bit dicey here. say we don't know exactly, of course, what the fuel window is. We got it. It's a 75 lap race here. It's going to be in the 20-25 lap range. So I wasn't able to get some of that issues and such. But as I said, here comes that 28 of Charles Johnson. He's going to now jump to the top side. He's got however, you can see they didn't really get too much of a run there. We'll see if Bud Steele maybe tries to jump to the top and join that way. Actually, they get to his corner. Yeah, so they get to Bud before he even has a chance to get up top there. So we'll see if they kind of fizzle out. Right now, it seems like they kind of lost that momentum they had. But right now, yeah, some guys are thinking about it. Kind of go back in line. So I say that 3-wide attempt didn't happen. Got everybody back to 2 wide. So you can see Joe fell back now. He's in about the 16th position or so. Not really obviously what he was but again, really a lot of pit stops to go. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity for that one. So, and these guys are, I said, these guys are good speed right now. So it looks like they're getting about to 2:04 or so down the backstretch there. I'm sure probably even a little bit more when you've got some intent. These guys are definitely going at it right now. Oh, we see right there, Raven now catches the apron, able to hang on to a really good save at 87. And that's what we talked about, that bottom line there. You have to be really careful. One for the bumps, then two to say it's easy to get kind of down onto that apron. That really upsets the car. Honestly, I feel like the track was probably the sketchiest place on this track of all. But the backstretch kind of stay hooked up pretty well in the turns. Of course, you got the downforce just pushing these cars down into the ground a lot better. Oh, they say that right there. You see the we got a bunch of cars involved here. So this is definitely going to be a big one. Only a couple here sneaking through this one. Oh my goodness! So we're gonna have probably about over half the field involved in this one. So you can see a few cars trying to get squared away. So you see the banking just wreaking havoc in some of these cars as well. It looks like everybody's going to be able to get away. So you got a couple. So unfortunately, it looks like that 98 of Roy Wheeler may be stuck between the banking. See if he's able to get off and get rolling again too. But yeah, that's going to be. Man, that was a big one. I would say that's the majority of the field. It looks like Roy Wheeler is up and going again, so he's going to be able to hang out and get back on the lead lap, or stay on the lead lap, I should say. But that took out a bunch of cars. Even the one has damage as well. Let's go back and see what happened there, because that took out a big chunk of the field. So it started right up front with the leaders, and that's, of course, easy way to get everybody involved here. So let's go ahead and go back just a teeny bit more here. No, that's too far. So through the backstretch here, so we'll speed up a little bit now as we get closer to the incident. Let's go ahead and slow it down here. I'm wondering if just maybe the push didn't go quite to plan. You can see the 071's pretty square with him. Oh, but you see right there as he starts sliding to that right just a little bit, and then he tries to get lined back up there. I think that's going to be... No, actually, he looks pretty good there, too. I might be off a lap still. Yeah, I'm off already. Let's see, as they enter 3... I can't tell if maybe he thought he was clear or not there. Let's go see if this one shows us anything a little better. So you can see the 029 definitely came down. Not sure if it was because of a bump or not. Or maybe he just thought he was clear. Obviously not quite there. But then just from there, I mean, here we'll actually go all the way to the top here. And you can just see all these cars. Let's say you can't see them very well, obviously. But a lot of these cars. Here we'll say Bud Steele catches some air in there. Trying to see if anybody actually makes it through. It was like the 03. No, I think 03 has some rear damage. 131's looking promise. Oh, right there, a little bit of left front damage. Here comes the 029. He gives a shot. I'm gonna say I don't think anybody survived. When I say I think this whole field's pretty much going to be using a faster pair at this rate. So let's go ahead and jump back to the front here. Take a look. So it looks like the one of Gabe Butler, he did not. He's going to save one of those faster pairs. So he still got a significant damage, especially to the nose of that car. So that's where my biggest concern would be for him. Because you can see right there, that's not going to... I mean, he might be okay in the draft, but otherwise I think he's going to be in trouble with that. So let's kind of cycle through here and take a look at some of these guys. Let's say, looks like he went ahead and got... Eric Laurie got his damage repaired. Jack Walls is looking clean. Jimmy Crow. Yeah, so I'm thinking we might have a fair number of faster pairs taken care of here. So there's a few drivers a little further back you can see that had really long pit stops, so I think they're going on the approach of they want to save that faster pair. Dale Willoughby's going to see a little bit of rear damage to his car. 03, same thing, got some rear damage on that one. Who else is in there with a long pit stop? The 87, Raymond Rittenauer. So he had a long stop, but it's looking pretty clean on it. I'll say, however, I think we're about, well, let's actually take a look because here comes the one. He's going to come in the pits right now. We'll see if he's going to go ahead and get this damage repaired or not. However, we are on the one to go, so we'll say we'll have to make sure these guys all get back out and going here. And make sure that they catch up to the pace car and make sure they don't lose the draft. That's going to be critical as well. But right now it looks like that one still is trying to fix as much damage as he can here. So it looks like also Raymond Rittenauer still getting some damage fixed. So you saw Dale Willoughby just go by there. So yeah, it looks like there's a lot of strategy here in trying to save as much, save these faster pairs. I'm trying to see. That car is actually looking pretty good up front now, so we'll just have to wait and see, obviously, as they go here. So that's going to put the lead now up front here with the 071 of Eric Laurie with Jack Walls in the 83 to his outside. And then in row number 2, you have Jimmy Crow and Michael Spell. So yeah, that was definitely a big incident there, to say the least, unfortunately for these guys. But again, this is the perks of the faster pairs, let's say. So a lot of these guys may have used one of those faster pairs. Some of them may be saving it for a future potential incident. That was about a 15-16 lap run, so we're going to restart here with 57 laps to go. That was the first caution of the race. Really good race in there, 2x2, a little bit of 3x3 as well. Just unfortunate that contact between the 029 and then the one car. It was literally at the front of the field, and so that just not much anybody else can do to try to get out of that one. Even those who were in the back kind of trying to take it safe. So they're coming through the trial by here. So we're going to see, and you see all these cars lined up here on the bottom side here. Looks like starting around the 86 of Kyle Hess. All of these guys, since they pitted on the one to go, they cannot restart double file. They have to restart single file. So that's going to be the next thing, is they have to be extremely careful here to make sure they do not lose the draft here. You see right there, 071 getting right, a little bit of a bump there from the 21 as they get going on the green. However, looks like Jack Walls gets a really good start there. Might even be able to clear those, and he does. He's going to drop to the bottom right off the bat. It's going to put that 83 Jack Walls in the lead. Now you have Eric Laurie right behind him, but I say Eric doesn't want any part of that. He's going to try to lead this top line here. Say Jack's trying to block. He's got to be careful. He's going to get put pretty wide here, and he is. So now the question is, where's the help going to go? And it looks like Michael Spell's going to actually go with the 83 of Jack Walls, and that's going to put the 071 up by himself here on the top side as they go through turns 3 and 4. So he's going to go from leading this restart to probably falling out of the top 15, so just in that one lap. That just shows you how careful you have to be of making these moves as you go here, because you make the one wrong move and you just fall way to the back. So not the restart, obviously, that Jack Walls was looking for, or sorry, Eric Laurie was looking for. However, long way to go. So we're on lap 20 now at 75, so we got 56 to go here. However, with all that cycling through, now it's going to move the race lead to 21 of Jimmy Crow. And then you got the 029 of Rick McKinney right behind him here. So you see that top line starting to try to form there, say Jack Walls, and then Michael Spell. Bud Steele on the bottom line as well in there, so he's back in the mix as well here. But right now, say they're, again, looks like they're kind of going mostly 2x2. See a few of those guys in the back there just kind of hanging single file like they were earlier. And I think that's kind of what you're going to see until we get to that point of maybe it's getting closer to pit stops, and that's where they want to try to grab up and go closer to minimize that track position loss on the pit stop cycles. But say right now, though, you can see these guys are still running 2x2. Say Eric Roy was thinking about trying to make 3 wide, but he had no friends at that point. He had to settle back in there. So you can see Michael Spell on the back bumper of the 83 of Jack Walls. The problem is you can see he's kind of having to move around a little bit behind him. And that's where you have to be really careful, especially if you are on the bumper at that point and you kind of move the car around a little bit. That's an easy way to hook somebody that's the person trying to push. So he's going to need to try to get a little bit more squared with that 83 car to be able to make that push work. I think right now that's kind of the limiting factor of getting that top line going right now. As you can see, they don't have that line really as locked down as that bottom has at the moment. So that Johnson said, I'm surprised Eric Murray hasn't wanted to jump up there with him. He said he wanted to go earlier, but it looks like that's not happening yet. They're falling back like flesh. They say that's right now around the 13, 14. Oh, is this a little bit of contact? No. This is going to hit possibly very badly, and it does. Oh my goodness. So it looked like the 029 just had a bit of a moment, unfortunately, there. And just, yeah, let's go back and take a look. I want to say it started with Rick McKinney. Oh, yeah. Oh, actually, yeah. Kind of looks like that's where it all began. Let's see if we can get a better angle here. See, as they're coming towards the trial here, you can see that 029 kind of moves up a little bit. It actually just kind of doors 83, and that kind of brings him back down across the track. And then unfortunately, you see some of these drivers already start trying to react to it. And so you can see a few of those, the 45, the 98, the 44, all involved there. Oh, 86 takes a big hit. There's the one, our pole sitter. So even the 87 was in there as well. Yeah, there's a lot of hurt cars on this one as well. So these guys are gonna start running out of fast repairs, unfortunately, at this point. So some of these guys are gonna have to be extremely careful going through the remainder of this race. So I'm gonna jump back current. So you can see right now that 86 of Kyle Hess trying to see if he can get this thing back to pit road. That thing was obviously not tracking straight. So you can see the wheels probably all skewed off. Yeah, look at that. It's trying to keep it all the way to left just to get it to go straight here. However, don't want to take a toe if at all possible. So he's going to see if he can make it happen. Same thing here for that one of Gabe Butler. So he's trying to limp this thing along here. Same thing, that car does not want to track straight. However, I do want to mention, so you can see the plaque you say with the name, the car number, and the driver name. That's a really cool setup that he's got on his, with some extra sponsorship and everything on there. So for those that are maybe some painters in watching this broadcast, that's some pretty cool stuff that these guys are able to do here. So pit strategy wise, looks like Bud Steele is a lonely man. He decided he didn't want to pit there, or just didn't want to get back in that mess. I'm not sure. Or possibly he might just pit again this next time around. So looks like everybody else from Jimmy Crow in second place on back went ahead and made pit stops. So that's going to cycle these guys all back in the field here. Pretty much, yeah, so let's say second place on up, or on back, will be having pit stops. Bud Steele's right now got about 7 lap older, not older tires really, but just less fuel. So we're going to keep an eye on the pit stops here, see what's going on here. It actually looks like, unfortunately, Charles Johnson may have been. Oh yeah, he was definitely involved in there. There's a 7 as well. I'm guessing that 28 had to take a tow. Unfortunately, you see both those cars completely missing the whole front end and the hoods of their cars. Just not a good start to the race for these two. So we'll jump back around to another group so you can see it looks like fast repair taken care of there. So definitely a fast repair taken by the one car, get him back. So I think, I say again though, that was where we talked about him maybe not using that fast repair right off the bat just in case. And it looks like that's going to be a huge benefit from him because otherwise he'd be completely out. So I think now he'll still have 1 remaining. I'll just have to kind of wait and see as things progress here. But I'll say while we have a moment, I'll say I'm going to step away for just a bit here while these guys are pacing under yellow, and say we'll get back going on the 1 to go when we get to the backstretch.
Has sprinted out to a 7/10 of a second lead once again.
Lights are off on the pace car coming through the back stretch here. So again, things stacked back up again. Looks like, unfortunately, we have 3 drivers that are now sitting a lap down, which are the 7 of Dale Willoughby, the 28 of Charles Johnson, and the 86 of Kyle Hess. And unfortunately, it looks like the 98 of Roy Mueller has retired from the event, so that's going to leave 18 on the lead lap, 21 still remaining in the race. So looks like the top 9 or so pitted on the first time, and that was it. And then you have a few that pitted the second time, and then a few that topped off on the window go as well. So we're going to have slightly different fuel windows for these drivers. So as they come around through turns 3 and 4, it's going to put it back into the hands of Jimmy Crow and Joe Della Vecchia. Say we are going to restart here with 49 laps to go. So we've done a third of the distance of this race. Slowed down by these 2 cautions so far. I'm saying it's gonna, as they come around through the tri-oval and then get going here. We'll see what the plan is for some of these drivers. Say it's obviously been a couple big incidents towards the front of the field. It's taken out a lot of cars and caused a lot of fast repairs needing to be used. So you see right now that there's a big gap between that 21 and the 131 as they get going here. That's going to really hurt the 21 of Jimmy Crow there. That's going to, I think, put the advantage there to that 052 of Joe Della Vecchia. So he's going to clear him entering turn 1 and the 83 there. So definitely not the restart there that Jimmy Crow is probably looking for. As you can see right now, that 83 of Jack Walls and that 052 of Joe Della Vecchia are really working well together here as they go through the backstretch. So you can see again, looks like they're here, by some trying to save their car should another incident occur. But right now you can see squared away a little bit 3 wide there. I think you'll probably see them kind of get back together there as I say that, back to 2 wide there. So right now it's pretty much 2 little groups here. As I said, they've got a couple drivers pitting here. Probably unfortunately some pit penalties there. Looks like for Paul Patterson and Rick McKinney. So they're going to have to make a pit stop here and then get back out and try to see where they cycle in. So that's going to actually probably now put 5 cars 1 lap down. But right now you can see pretty much all single file here towards the front. So you can see the second group right now is being led by that 44. As I say that, now the 10, the top side led by the 44 of Dwight Plush. Now the 10 of Corey Lane, excuse me. He's now leading the top side. Actually put the 44 back to the bottom there, and then you got the 07 of Eric Lorry trying to see if he can make that third groove work here. So we'll see if that 7 of Dale Willoughby is going to stick with him or not. And that's going to be the next fight now here as well. Is going to be that battle for getting that free pass right now. Which right now that 7 and I think the 7 right now is the first car 1 lap down. So actually, as I say that, you can see right there below the 28 Charles Johnson. That's going to move Charles now into the first car 1 lap down. So that's going to be like the fight within the fight, basically. And also you have the 86 Kyle Hess will be in there. But right now you can see he's kind of falling off the pack here. He's going to have to try to regroup some of these guys to charge back up there to be able to have a chance at it. But you can see right here they're 3 wide as they go through turns 3 and 4. So they're going to try to fight hard here to get back on the lead lap. They have to be careful though not to be the yellow, and that will wind up actually benefiting Kyle Hess really well. So right now, let's say the front 8 or so are all single file here, but you can see that fight right now is really going on right behind the basically. For trying to get that. Really, it seems like the biggest fight right now that you've got going on here is for this lucky dog position between Charles Johnson and Dale Willoughby. As I say that, here comes Bud Steele jumping to the top middle side, I should say. Going to see if he can make something happen. But as I say that, Charles Johnson's going to drop to the bottom here, see if maybe he can pick up a little bit more ground and get around or get a few more cars between himself and that 7 of Dale Willoughby. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like that second group of Michael Spell, Timothy Wright, and then Kyle Hess, they're all out of the draft right now. They're about 5.5 seconds back of the leaders, so they're going to have their work cut out for them to get back up into this group here. Right right now though, that 6 car, Bud Steele, he's trying to make the middle line work. So he's got a pretty good pusher right now in that 10 of Corey Lane. He's able to get up to the 4th position, working on 3rd. So you see Charles Johnson decided to join that group as well in that middle line here. So now the trick's going to be to see if anybody's going to try to jump around them. As you can see, they're kind of jockeying for position just a little bit. Wasn't sure if one of those drivers was going to try to jump in front of him or not there to try to lead that top side. Looks like Bud Steele's going to try to go for the lead as they come through the trial. Well, as I say that, Jimmy Crow gets on the apron, able to hang on to a really good save by that 21 car. Everybody else is able to react around as well. Shake the bottom line up a little bit. As I say that, they're coming up on a lap car, which is the 45 of Paul Patterson. He's one of those ones that had the pit penalty on the restart, so he's going to stay to the top side here while the rest of the on the backstretch. So his goal here is going to be to try to tag on to the draft with these guys. This is actually going to put him 2 laps down now. Unfortunately for that 45 car, so he's going to have his work cut out for him as well as they go around turns 3 and 4. So you see if he's able to grab onto the toe here and get back up into the group. But up front, so I believe we have a battle for the lead. We do. So you can see, oh, again, the 21 gets into the grass this time. So he's able to get back cleanly onto the track. It looks like he goes and backs it down here. Actually, looks like he might be jumping out and retiring there. It looks like that is what happened, or jumps in the pits, I should say. I'll say, yeah, that car just was not handling very well for him. I'll say that's really 10 and almost made contact there in the back stretch. That's definitely going to give the advantage right now to the top side. However, though, that 83 is really pushing the 052 really well. So that's Jack Walls and Joe Deladucky, and you can see they were able to, Jack was able to push him all the way through. And that right now that top side just isn't staying formed very well at the moment. The 10's trying to give the 6 of Bud Steele a good push here. Again, that's sorry, the 10's Corey Lane trying to help Bud Steele. Right behind him is Charles Johnson, and then now you've got Dale Willoughby in the 7 car. You see he drops to the bottom here, and I said that's going to be that fight for the lucky dog position should a yellow come out. So that's now going to put Dale Willoughby in the lucky dog position. As he's just in front of that 28 of Charles Johnson. He's fighting really hard right now to try to get that free pass and get back on the lead lap here. And right now that advantage is definitely going to the 7. You can see that top isn't lining up very well anymore. However, I say behind them, they have to be a little careful because some of these guys, especially that 76 of Jim Brooks, he's right in the danger zone of losing that draft. He's got the back of the 45 car. But if he falls too far back, especially with no help behind him, he's going to really be at risk of having something happen there. However, they're coming up on the next lap car, which is the 029 of Rick McKinney. So you can see now he's going to go all the way to the top side. You're going to see these guys all try to shuffle around him on the bottom. And then same thing for him. He's going to try to grab onto the draft and then get back into the field here. This as well is going to be putting him 2 laps down right now. And actually, you can see now the 7 of Dale Willoughby, he's going to try to actually leave the top side and he can get his lap back the old-fashioned way. Just do it on the track here. So right now we are on lap 35 of 75. We're going to come across the line. There will be 40 laps to go of the 75 scheduled distance. Here at Talladega, we've had 2. Oh, as I say that, we got one on the crest. I think that was the 35. That was Art Peck. Able to keep it going again. Say keep it straight. It looks like he should be able to even hang on to the draft because these guys were staggered out just enough there. So I think he's going to be in good shape to not lose the draft there. Just probably need a change of shorts and then get back after it there. So the SA will jump back to the front again here. And right now, say that 7 car Dale Willoughby, he's doing all he can here. So he's got the help of the 071 of Eric Corey, trying to see if he can make that top side happen. I say right now they are starting to looks like get a little bit better established. You got 4 on the bottom, 5 on the top side. You see that 071 staying right on the back bumper of the 7 car. Say as they cross the line there, the 7 has him just by a nose. So that's going to put him as things run at the very tail end of the lead lap. So say should have caution come out while he's just ahead. He'll actually be able to go all the way around and get his lap back that way versus having to wait and do the free pass and the restart at the very tail end of the line. So there are perks to trying to get your lap back doing it this way. And here at Talladega, I mean, there's obviously these these guys are all really equal, of course, with the fixed setups and plate racing the way it is here. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see. And the other thing to start keeping in mind as well is going to be these pit stops that'll probably be happening, I would guess, around 10 or so more laps. Have to see who's been saving and what kind of the fuel tire strategy is going to be for some of these guys. Because right now it looks like we've got about 13 cars in the lead group here on the lead lap still. With a few lap cars, like 15, 20 cars, about 15 cars I'd say in this lead group right now. Again, just have to be careful with these guys stagger a little bit too far back from my cone for like that 45 and the 76. I feel like if they're not careful, they're back right now. As I say that here, we're going to have another attempt at 3 wide, it looks like, but Steele's going to jump to the top right now. Doesn't have any help though, so it looks like he's going to fall back. And this is able to squeeze back in, which he is. Squeezes back in front of the 10 of Corey Lane. So right now, say the bottom line starting to get some momentum again, pushing Dale Willoughby back a few car lengths, I guess you could say. But again, say as we just crossed the halfway point of the race, just keeping an eye on these guys up front here. Say they're having a really good run here. So while they're doing this, I say we'll go ahead and try to get there on the track. Hopefully nothing happens while I'm trying to do this. So right now our race has the 52 of Joe Della Vecchia. You see right there, he started in the 8th position, currently leading. Right behind him you have the 83 Jack Walls, who's been pretty much running right on the back of him as well. He has led a lap right now, starting in the 7th position, currently 2nd. On the top side, you have that 07. He's also led 2 laps as well right now, so he started 10th, currently in the 3rd position. Just inside of him is the 131 of Craig Forsyth, started in the 11th position. So you can see him jumping around just a little bit again, making me nervous. But say then you have the he started 6th, currently 5th, has led 2 laps so far this evening. Also got the 10 of Corey Lane. Corey is showing in the 9th position, or 6th position I should say. Started 9th, hasn't led a lap yet. Wouldn't be surprised to see that happen here going on as the race progresses. You have the 84 right there of Andrew Schroeder, started 21st, currently 6th. Right behind him is that 35 of Art Peck. Had that moment, got back to the draft here though, as you can see, so he's done a good job recovering there. Currently 8th position, started 15th. And you have the 44 of Dwight Plush, started 18th, currently 9th. And then Raymond right now, I believe, started in the 2nd position. No, sorry, 3rd position. He's kind of leading the 2nd group right here, probably just trying to stay out of trouble right now. Currently running that 10th position. Right behind him is our pole sitter, the 1 of David Butler. He's led 12 laps so far this evening. Behind them, the 03 of Kevin Hash. Started in the 12th position. Sorry, started 5th position, currently 12th. Reading numbers backwards here. So they got a few lappers there, and then right behind them you have Jim Brooks there in the 76. Started 19th, currently 13th. I think right now he's just trying to limit the damage. You see right there, he's jumping to the top side, probably trying to let some of those guys go. And then the 2 that are off the draft right now, trying to hang on as best they can, is the 88 there of Michael Spell, and the 00 of Timothy Wright. And those are right now all the cars that are on the lead lap. And of course the one we mentioned as well, Dale Willoughby, trying to see if he can get his lap back the old-fashioned way. Still leading that top groove there. So that's really everybody on the lead lap, plus one of our drivers 1 lap down as they run. Right now, that bottom line though, that 052 of Joe Della Vecchia and Jack Walls, they're proving potent right now. So that bottom line is doing really well. They're able to kind of just hang just enough to keep those guys behind them. And yeah, say they're doing a good job there. Oh, when they say that Eric Corey jumps to the top, he may have just popped his motor, I'm afraid. So we'll see, let's go ahead and pop forward. Yeah, you see right there, idle sitting at 300 there. That's going to be the end of the day for the 071 of Eric Laurie. Got too hot. I'm assuming what happened there with the push, unfortunately, there for him. So he's going to see if he can coast all the way to the pits here. I'll say that's a potential for bringing in a yellow, unfortunately. We'll have to see how that shakes out as well. But let's go back up front to the leaders here. And you see now that's really kind of given the bottom line a bunch more momentum there. And so now you got the 052, the 83, and the 131 all kind of nose to tail here on the bottom side. As you can see, they get a little squirrely there through the tri-oval. I'm watching that 071 right now. He's still trying to just see how far he can limp that thing along. He's just about to enter turn 3 as the leaders are on the turn 2. So I don't know if he's going to be able to coast all the way around to the back or to the pits there. I think also the other thought is to try to minimize how far he has to tow for one of those faster pairs. Should he have any remaining? So I'll say, well, see that Eric Maury as they come around through 3 and 4 here. You see him on the inside. They all go by him there. Really unfortunate. So he's trying to push that 7 car as best he could. Just at some point got too hot. And that's all the motor can handle there. Unfortunately, that's definitely something that happens in plate racing. You want to push as best you can, but you just have to be a little bit careful as well about that. Right there you can see though this top line starting to form again, and so here comes that 7 again. Now we've got Bud Steele and Lieutenant Corey Lane. They're starting to make another charge here, and I'm curious to see now what the fuel windows are going to possibly be looking like as well. So now we've got about 20 green flag laps here. I feel like the pit stops are going to be coming soon. And that's going to be the next thing too, is for these guys to start trying to jockey for a position to get to that bottom to be able to hit their pits here. We're going to be coming to 30 to go as they cross the start-finish line. So if they can stretch it just a few more laps, let's say maybe get 25 or so laps on this run and go 25 on the next run, that could make it a one-stop race from here. So that's another potential strategy where we'll have to keep an eye on to see if that's going to play a part on this. But right now, though, again, you still got the top 12 within 2 seconds of the lead. You gotta say you got the 76 of Jim Brooks kind of just cruising right at the very back of the group right here, just staying just within drafting distance. Looks like he knows better than I do about keeping the draft, so I won't second guess him at the moment. But if he messes up, I'll give him a 10 battle later on. So yeah, so back up front there, you see Bud Steele there. He's now leading the top side of the lead lap cars, where Dale Willoughby still, like I mentioned, trying to see if he can get his lap back, just the old-fashioned way, really. And so that's going to be the next thing, though, too. Like I mentioned with the pit stops, at some point that top line is going to need to get to the bottom, possibly before the bottom line. As I said, there goes the 7, able to get that push he needed. That's going to put that 7 in the lead. We'll see. As I don't think there's enough cars on the top there with the 6 and the 10 to try to challenge him right now. So as things run right now, there's Dale Willoughby's tail end of the lead lap. But of course, as I said, here comes a 6 and a 10. Actually get a really good push, but a little squirrely there. So that's going to probably separate them a little bit, and that cost some momentum. So we'll have to see how that all goes if they're able to regroup here. But right now, so Dale Willoughby showing as the last car on the lead lap, just on the tail end, as you can see. And here comes the pit stop step again. Here's the 052. Saying that was Joe Delvecchia. He is in the pits. Unfortunately, though, he's pitting by himself here. So he's going to need to have a really good entry and exit to try to negate the losses that he's going to have of not having any drafting help as they get back going right now. I'm saying with that, though, that's going to now put Bud Steele now up into the lead. He's able to get around with the push from that 10 of, I don't want to keep losing it, Corey Lane Colleges. So now we're going to see for these guys, as you can see right now, the 6 is getting a huge push from that 7, as they're actually able to separate Carlings from that 83. So really good pushing there by Dale Willoughby. So right now it looks like nobody's pitting yet. So I say, unfortunately, I think that 052 is just kind of odd man out there with that pit cycle. As I say that, he's coming back onto around 1 and 2 here. You're going to see as they come through turns 1 and 2, he'll be on the apron just to try and get up to speed. So his goal here is going to be to see if he can pick up the draft to these guys as he's getting up to speed. So you can see here he is on the backstretch. Actually, a really good pit stop by that 052, able to stay on the lead lap here. So he's going to get going again. These guys will obviously be picking up his draft here. So what he's going to want to do is once he gets up to speed, obviously they'll come around him much faster, but he'll be able to jump in behind them and pick up their draft as well. The concern, of course, though, still is this lap or two he's going to have without any draft at all is going to really hurt his chances. So we'll jump to the back here. As you say, pit stops are starting to happen here. You see Bud Steele in the pits. Looks like we're about to split the group in half here. It looks like everybody hit the pit entry really well there. So you got Bud Steele, Art Peck, Dwight Plush, Andrew Schroeder, Kevin Hash, Jim Brooks, and Michael Spell, Timothy Wright. They are all in the pits right now. So this will keep an eye on Bud Steele. Hits his marks really well there. So looks like he's going to take tires here as well, not just fuel. At least right sides for now. So you see the 03 was taking left side tires there. So that's some of the strategy you can pull here as he gets going right now. So now the trick is if he's going to have any friends coming out of the pits behind him, because he looks a little lonely back there. Oh, as I say, that gets loose, getting on the throttle there. He's going to drop it to the apron. Not going to bring out a yellow, but unfortunately, that's going to cost him a ton of track position. But yeah, I'll say caution does not come out from that. He's able to get going again. The second group of drivers is in the pits there as that's happening here with Jack Walls, Corey Lane, Craig Forsyth, Raymond Rittenauer, Gabe Butler. They are all in. As you can see, the 10 just come across the nose of the 83. So you have to be real careful there to make sure you're in where you need to be there. So we're going to see where everybody's cycling out right now. I'm not sure who's going to be leading this group as the pit stop cycle. I think right now the 7 and the 03, I think they hit their pits really well here. So I think right now they're going to be the ones to cycle through to the front. I'm saying this is with 25 to go, so it's going to be really tight on the fuel window. I'm not sure if they can make it or not at this point. We'll have to wait and see. Saying looks like the next driver that's coming out of the pits right now is the 35 of Art Peck. Looks like he had a really good pit stop right now. So he's on the backstretch here. So I think it's going to be right now. This is going to be kind of the group that we're going to see. As we see, we'll see, because unfortunately Mark is right now by himself, but you see those guys coming quick behind him. Like I mentioned, the 7 of Dale Willoughby, and actually you can see that 87 is coming up in the group as well. And he's got help from Gabe Butler. So that's going to bring these 4 cars into the mix right now as they come up on the 35. So I'm going to wait for everything to cycle through here. So I want to see who's where on the track. Actually, it's showing that the 03 of Kevin Hash is our race leader. Right behind him, though, Raymond Rittenauer, that is second and third. Again, that 7 car is on the tail end of the lead lap. And it actually looks like the 35 is also showing now 1 lap down. And then trying to see, looks like they're coming up in Jack Walls. It's going to put Jack Walls as well out there. This pit cycle has really mixed up the field here. Pretty much the front 3 of the lead laps have about 7 seconds on the second group right now, which is leading off with Corey Lane here. We'll jump all the way back there to the 10 car, so they're going to cycle back around behind him. You can see right here with Jim Brooks, I think it's Andrew Schroeder now who's going to be leading that front group. So then now once they get cycled through and everybody gets settled here, we're going to need to keep an eye on lap time and see what they're able to do. There are 2 trains of thought here on what's the faster way to race, if it's single file or 2x2. And again, we talked about the fuel strategy as well. So the 2 that stayed out 1 lap later than those around them were Raymond Rittenauer and Gabe Butler. So we're around 23 to go here, and so it's going to be tight on the fuel, and they may be able to make it. I'm going to say that extra lap they were able to run, that might be the thing that helps them get to the win here. We'll just have to wait and see as they're coming up on the 71 of Eric Laurie again, who unfortunately had that motor expire while he was actually pushing that 7 car past the again, we mentioned about that 7. He is right now still running on the tail end of the lead lap. I say they have cars there. It's like about 7 cars in this draft right now. Looks like the next group with that right now looks like the 131 of Craig Forsyth and Dwight Plush are leading that second group right now. Yeah, again, it looks like they're staying nose to tail as well. So now the trick is going to be watching these lap times. Because that last time by, the lead group was running the 47.4, whereas the group behind was in the 48s. So I mean, that was a full second difference there. I think while they were trying to get established to figure out who was going to lead and what the plan was there. And as well, I don't think they have as many cars. You can see right now they only have the 5. They're working on catching the 28 of Charles Johnson. So this time by, we'll see the lap times look like. So I think this time they're a little bit more settled. But again, that time by, 47.5 to 48.5, so they were a full second slower. I don't know if some of these guys may have damage that they don't realize or what's going on, because right now they're actually showing that they are about 10 seconds out of the lead, so they've really been falling off the group here. So they're gonna have to hope here that Charles Johnson's able to grab onto the draft and maybe help their speed out as well right now. But yeah, so right now I think it's going to really be between these ones up front here of Kevin Hash, Raymond Rittenauer, and Gabe Butler. And I think we're going to see those guys right now that, especially Raymond Rittenauer and Gabe Butler, on cruise right now. And actually probably the 03 as well. I don't think you're going to see any dicing for positions here until probably about 5 or so to go. Because again, we still have 20 laps to go here in this race. So I think there's going to be a lot of fuel saving. Everybody's just kind of riding on the bottom here, just trying to take care of their fuel, save as much as they can. Again, you can actually save fuel here in Talladega, especially if you're one of the third or fourth cars in line. You can run at about not quite 3/4 throttle, but a little bit more of that. But you can definitely save fuel here as we go around. But again, unfortunately, I'm not sure what's that front group there. They're just the second group. They're just not able to bring in the time right now. This time by, it looks like the leaders were at 48 of the front three. So waiting for the next group to come by again, led by the 44 and the 131. Looks like their lap time is 48.6. So again, about half a second slower than the lead group. So now they're falling back to about 11.5 seconds of the lead group. So this is going to be the fight for it right now. And the other fight that's going to be going on as well is going to be for that lucky dog position. Right now, so you can see in their group is the 83 of Jack Walls. He's at the moment the first car 1 lap down. Right behind him, though, Art Peck. He is the other car that's 1 lap down in this position here. So should the yellow come out, especially again if that 7 stays up front of Dale Willoughby. Right now, Art's looking at his competition for getting that lap back should a caution come out. So, and unfortunately for Eric Glory with that motor damage, he had to coast for so long. He's showing 3 laps down right now, so he's going to have his work cut out for him to kind of get back into the mix in this one. For those that have retired, unfortunately, it looks like Rick McKinney, Jimmy Crow, and Roy Wheeler have retired from the race this evening, which leaves 19 cars still on track. And as I mentioned, there are right now 12 on the lead lap, with the 12th car as that 7 that's just right, literally on the tail end of the lead lap. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that group as well. But as I say that, though, they're starting to approach the 6 of Bud Steele, who unfortunately had that little bit of a spin on the pit exit, really hurt his chances there. Because they say he was coming out just all by himself. Cost him a lot of track position there. So we're trying to see here. All right, the last time by, actually, the second group is starting to get a little bit more organized. This was about 0.6 of a second quicker than the group in front here. And you can see they've got a pretty good group now, actually. So you've got the 76 is pushing to 28. So that's Charles Johnson, Jim Brooks there. And you got the 44 Dwight Plesh, Craig Forsyth is in there. And Courtney Lane. Trying to see who else is in that group right now. Joe Delvecchia is in there, Andrew Schroeder, and there's one more, and I think it's 45 of Paul Patterson. So right now, that's the second group that we've got. And I was mentioning there's 2 trains of thought here for the way to try to go faster on plate racing. Some people swear by staying single file like these guys are right now. Others say if you go 2x2, if you have enough cars, 2x2 is the faster way to go. They're about a full straightaway behind the leaders at this point, with 16 to go, coming around to 15 to go once they get to the strike. So at this point, I'd say it's worth the risk, and say that last time by they were about 2 to 3 tenths quicker than the lead pack. So that's going to be the next thing as well, as to see if they're still staying 2x2 here. Let's jump over to real quick. Yeah, let's say they're kind of 2x2, not too much, unfortunately. So they've just got the 2 on the very top there. We'll kind of keep an eye and see how that goes lap time wise. But so as they cross the line, here's a 48.1 for the lead group. The second group there is actually, yeah, it was a 47.7. So whatever they're doing is definitely working now. It's just I'm afraid it might be a little too late, because again, they're about 10 seconds out of the lead. with 15 to go. And so basically at this point, they would need to gain roughly a second a lap. A little less, obviously, maybe like 7/8 of a second lap, but they would need to gain a lot to get there. And as well, they also pitted that one lap earlier, so they're going to have slightly older, or slightly less fuel, I should say, than the group in front. I say you see Bud Steele able to join onto that drafting group right now. But saying that's going to be the next thing too. Unfortunately, I think that that 7 Dale Willoughby, he's been leading this group this whole time, so he's burning the most fuel of any of these guys. So I'm pretty skeptical that he'll be able to make it here to the end on fuel. I say it's a terrible term to use, but I feel like he may be the sacrificial lamb, as they say at the moment here with 14 to go. However, you never know. Say maybe he's got something under that I'm not aware of and is able to make something happen there. But right now, though, I think that 03 of Kevin Hash, his goal is just to do exactly what he's doing, just ride, save as much fuel as he can. You can see Raymond Rittenauer, as I said, there he goes. Raymond Rittenauer, he is holding in the second spot, Gabe Butler in third. They pitted again. They pitted one lap later than that 03 of Kevin Hash. So if they're tight on fuel, they'll be that much more comfortable than the 03 at this point. And again, these are the only 3 on the lead lap in this drafting group right now. All these other cars here are 1 or more laps down. As we have 13 to go, say we've on lap 63 of 75, we've had 2 cautions for 7 laps. Still keeping an eye on the lap times. That last time by the lead group is running a 47.7, whereas the group behind is in the 47.6 range, so not too much of a difference, pretty much equal speeds. Again, you can see how big the second group has got, and that's definitely helping these guys out as well. So I see a little bit of a wiggle. Say that's where you got to be careful there. Make sure they don't hook each other. So they're able to keep that pointed straight. So that's always kind of, yeah, you kind of get a little nervous, especially through that trial line. I'm sure right now these top 3 are saying, hey, no, just keep it green, keep it green. We need this. I'll say that second group is closed the gap a little bit again. Say they're now within about 9 seconds or so. But again, I think it just took them too long to get established and figure out who needs to be where to make this work with these guys. So right now it's showing Corey Lane leading that group in the 10 car, Jim Brooks in 6th. So we'll jump over to him. It actually looks like they've kind of gone single file again, you can see. So I have a feeling this lap probably isn't going to be as good because now you got the 10 and the 28 together, but you can see there's a bit of a gap there between the rest of them. If they want this to work, they really need to work together here and stay as close as possible to each other without, of course, running too hot. At this point, I'm not sure. I don't think there's enough time. So lap times, though, yeah, say pretty much exactly the same lap times. They're running 48.3s to 48.3s, 44s. So that last time by, lap times are right on the same numbers there for those guys. So now the question is going to be, say we're going to be coming around here once we take the flag. It'll be 10 to go here at Talladega, and that's going to be the question. Is going to be who's going to make the move win, and who's going to help, because this is kind of an awkward position for some of these guys to be. It's like, well, I'm a lap down. I don't know if I really want to affect the race. And some of these I don't think are still going to be able to make it either. Like I'm looking at Eric Laurie. He's gone 20 laps on his tank. So I think he's going to have to duck off before things happen up. As I said, actually, the 76 of Jim Brooks is in. Looks like the 28 of Charles Johnson in as well. So they must have not been able to make it here. So they're just going to probably take a splash right here. So it looks like Jim Brooks, Charles Johnson, yeah, they're both in the pits. So say we'll see just fuel only, and he's out and away. There goes Charles Johnson as well. So they're going to try to see if they can stick together here on the pit exit. Again, we're going to have to watch here, be careful, because they really have to be careful not to spin these tires on the exit. We saw what happened earlier. Looks like they are able to do so well. However, they're going to have a hungry pack of cars coming up behind them right now. Again, with this lead pack here, I think they'll just stay in front as they come through this. They're coming through 1 and 2 right now as the lead pack's entering 2, so they'll definitely stay on the lead lap. Well, as you say, the 76 will stay on the lead lap. Unfortunately, Charles Johnson is a lap down. As you can see them barely in the distance there, but they're just ahead of that group. You can see right there, not too far away from the leaders, so they're going to have to draft really aggressively here. And we'll just kind of wait and see now. So that was Jim Brooks and Charles Johnson, they pitted the same lap as some of those guys in this group here. So we're going to have to see if maybe they were having to push a little harder to try to make that time up or not. So that's going to be curious now for some of those as well. Like I mentioned, like Kevin Hash and Dwight Plesh, let's say some of those guys. It looks like Joe Delavecchia as well. He's going to, actually, as I said, he's on the pits now in that 052. So he's going to take a splash of fuel as well. So it looks like it's going to be tight on some of these guys. As again mentioned, Dale Willoughby. I don't think Dale can make it, unfortunately. I think he's just going to go as long as he can, hope for a yellow, and then as soon as he has to, or the last moment he has to pit, that'll be when he jumps in for a splash of fuel as well. Because right now, again, he's on the tail end of the lead lap. He doesn't want to give that up. And the 03 doesn't want him to give that up either because he's saving fuel right now as well in that 03 car. So, but yeah, I'll say right now, though, that everybody's kind of just, I think everybody's just kind of the calm before the storm, if you will. So at some point, everybody's going to start jumping, dicing for position. So we'll have to kind of wait and see on that one. Or I say right now, the Jim Brooks and the 28 Charles Johnson, they're still lined up here together. As you can see, drafting well. And it looks like they're going to pick up that 052. So he's going to come out of the pits right now. And I think he's going to have enough speed. He's showing about 180 miles an hour right now with the next, well, yeah. He's going to have to hustle to get to the MSA. And if they, I think their best bet is to try to pick that 052 up here. Because if they can get him as part of making the 3-car group, it'll make him that much quicker. Up, as I said, it looks like he must have had a pit penalty. Here comes the 052 back in the pits. That's unfortunate there for Joe Delavecchia. Not what he wanted to have happen this evening, of course. So yeah, so that's going to actually keep those two, Jim Brooks and Charles Johnson, by themselves again as they run. And right now, it looks like those are the only ones that are still making pit stops. And say everybody else has still been staying out here. So that second group is definitely a little bit smaller. Their lap times aren't still too bad though. So you got that 131, Craig Forsyth. You got the 10 of Corey Lane right behind him, 44 Dwight Plesh, and then Andrew Schroeder. Those guys are all running together here. Still about that 9-second gap, and that's only with the 4 drivers. So they've done a really good job here of hanging on as best they can. So for now, though, we'll jump back to the front. So say we're approaching now. We're going to come to 5 to go. So say this is up. As you see, one peels off right there. That's Eric Laurie. So we mentioned him. So he ran that time 24 laps until he had to make a pit stop. So you know, it's going to be tight. I say because right now I'm showing with 5 to go. Kevin Hash has run 22 laps. Raymond Rittenauer and Gabe Butler have run 21 laps. So that would be 26, 27 laps for those guys. And we mentioned Eric Laurie had to pit at 24. So this pit window could definitely be something to keep an eye on if someone's going to see if they can stretch it, maybe even just have to coast for the rest to maybe like off of 4 or something like that. This field is so spread out, that's definitely a possibility. But we'll have to just kind of wait and see if anybody who's going to be the next to blink. And say I think the one we'll be able to keep an eye on is definitely going to be that 7 of Dale Willoughby. So this is going to come around here. This will be lap 23 for him, and he's been the one leading this group this whole time. So he hasn't been able to save it all. He's had foot to the floor since he got out of the pits there. I'll say we got 4 to go here, and again I'll say right now you can see these top 3 though, with some lap cars involved in there. So that's going to be the next part as well to see who's going to go with which driver. If the 87 goes, is the one going to follow? Is the one going to try to grab onto the 03? There's a lot of potential here. So it just depends on, as you see, the 03 is jumping to the top here. I'm going to say that's going to be the 7 entering the pits there. Yeah, so there's Dale Willoughby. So unfortunately, he had a really good run there leading this group this whole time. Just didn't have the fuel he needed to make it to the end. So he's going to have to pit here with 4 to go as they come across the line for 3 to go. So now now you got the top 3 all lined up together here. You got the 03 of Kevin Hash, Raymond Rittenauer, and Gabe Butler. These are the 3 there. So these are the guys who are going to be battling it out for the win right now. And as I said, here comes 03 jumping to the top here. I wonder if I think he still has to save fuel. I think he doesn't want to lead this race right now because he can't make it if he stays out. So I think this is a strategy call by the 03. He's going to hope that the 1 and the 87 maybe run themselves out of fuel. You're going to see him grab back in line here, I think, behind the 6, I'm assuming, of Bud Steele. He's going to go back to full fuel save mode, I feel like. So that's going to be guys that come around here for 2 laps to go. So now it's going to be the 87 Raymond Rittenauer and Gabe Butler. As Michael Spells in the pits, he didn't have enough to make it to the end. So we're getting close. Because that is up, as I say, Dwight Plush, Andrew Schroeder, they're in the pits as well. So these guys tried to stretch it, just didn't quite have enough to make it all the way. So now can these two here, the 87 and the 1, Raymond Rittenauer, Gabe Butler, they pitted 1 lap later than the rest of the field. Can they stretch it out just 1 extra lap? This will be about a 26 lap run for them. I think they're going to be probably on fuels. And the next question is who's going to try to make a move and win? So I don't know if any of these guys are teammates with any of those guys behind them, but I'm sure that's going to play a role here as well. Maybe try to get like an Art Peck or Jack Walls to give him a push here if needed. As I said, 03 of Kevin Hash, he could not make it. He's in the pits as well. We are on the last lap, 1 to go here. So right now it's going to be between, it looks like it's going to be between these two right here, 87 and the 1. Now the question is, does the 1 go and win? Does the 87 have enough fuel? Because now he's had a lead for these couple of laps. Is he going to have enough to get around to the stripe? So this is definitely starting to say it's a battle and a fuel mileage battle all in one. So right now looks like he's going to wait to make his move here as late as possible as they come out of 4. Right now, still Raymond Rittenauer, he's holding that bottom. Gabe Butler behind him. Don't see any sputters from either of them. I think, listen, I don't see a move happening. No, that's going to be Raymond Rittenauer is going to get the win here. Gabe Butler in 2nd. And it looks like we're going to see where 3rd place is going to go. Looks like it actually might be Corey Lane. I think the 131 ran out of fuel there. That's Craig Forsyth. He's going to try to coast around to the end here. You can see the 10, I believe, is out of fuel. So he's going to coast around. He's going to get to the 3rd position there of Corey Lane. So that's going to get him to 3rd. Wait and see. Here comes that 131. Craig Forsyth, he's just coasting as best he can. He's going to have some chargers here, though. So we'll see if he's able to cross the line before they get to him. I think he's just going to get there. There's Craig Forsyth that's going to come home into 4th position. Let's see, Jim Brooks able to get to the 5th position there. So, man, those late pit stops there, that changed a lot as they got to the very end there. So let's go ahead and try to pull up our results here and have a chat with our finishers there because, man, that was 2 different strategies. They had that green flag pit stop, had some moments there with some of those drivers, but wow, that was a really good job by those guys to make that happen there. Trying to keep an eye out if I can catch Corey Lane. Don't see him yet in that 10 car. So while we wait a moment for Corey, let's go ahead and jump over to that 1 here of Gabe Butler. Let's pull him in here and have a chat with him. All right, pulling in the 1 car of Gabe Butler. Were you pretty much committed to following the 87 there, or you just see maybe if you can make him lead, he might run out of fuel, or kind of what was the plan there going into those final laps here?
Well, that's my teammate, and so we were working together, and we were trying to coax 26 laps out of the a fuel run there. 24 would have been the normal pit fuel window.
And that's what I was wondering. It looked like the pit window was definitely a little further than you guys, or a little less, I should say, than you guys were able to stretch it there those extra laps to make it to the end. Were you safe on fuel, or were you kind of thinking you're going to be sputtering as you kind of cross the start-finish line potentially?
We were good by about 4 or 5 tenths. I was anyway. Ray was a little shorter, so I was just staying behind him. I gave him a boost down the backstretch on the last lap to make sure he could make it, but he was able to make it. Didn't spot.
Well, that's some pretty good teamwork between the two of you. They're able to pull off the 1-2 finish. Was that kind of, I mean, obviously you had to work your way back up through the field after, let's say, a couple of big incidents. I initially was kind of questioning the saving the faster pair initially on that first wreck you guys had in 3 and 4, but then of course when that really big one happened that you got caught up in, obviously that was the right call because you had that one then saved at that point. How was the car driving even with the repaired damage?
I don't know if the cars in front of us were just going a little bit slower, but I was the last car in line. And I was able to keep up pretty easy, I thought. So I figured, okay, I made a good decision there. You never know with that. Sometimes you can get a 30-second repair and your car is trash. But I had a 30-second repair and it seemed to be okay. But then that, like you said, that second incident happened and it just got destroyed, and I didn't have a choice. But that second half of the race, we pretty much uh, spent the whole race saving fuel.
No, I'd say the strategy obviously worked out really well for you there. I was able to get the 1-2 finish. So I want to give you an opportunity for any thanks and shouts you'd like to give for that second place run tonight.
I'll give a shout out to my teammates. Got Ray and Dale, Eric, and Kevin Hash. And without those guys, you're just at a loss on a super speedway. And shout out to Area 51 and yourself for broadcasting.
Yeah, so you guys worked well together. Saying that's a critical part of plate racing. So congrats again on that second place finish. And say just let Ray, he owes you one next time. He gets to push you to the win.
There you go. Just remind him of that next time you see him.
I'll do so right now when I go interview him.
There you go. Appreciate it, buddy.
You too. Good job. All right, so that was our second place finisher, Gabe Butler. Unfortunately, I haven't found Corey Lane, so we won't be able to grab an interview with him. So let's go ahead and pull up our race winner, that number 87, Raymond Rittenauer. All right, so we're grabbing our race winner here, the number 87 of Raymond Rittenauer. Saving the fuel, having teammates to work with. Obviously, you drafted really well behind that 7 to save, I'm sure, as much as you could there as well. As I mentioned to Gabe, sounds like next week maybe you owe him the shove to the win. I'm not sure if you'll agree with that or not, though.
Yeah, I might be able to do that. We'll have to get there first.
Let's say so. Take us through the race. I mean, obviously you started in the third spot. I believe you were also caught in at least one of those big incidents. So I had to work your way back up towards the front afterwards. But then obviously you guys worked the pit strategy to perfection there with stretching the fuel and then also just getting in and out of the pits really well there to kind of gap the field. Yeah, just take us through how your evening went.
Yeah, I kind of got caught up in both of the wrecks. So I used up those kind of quick fixes early, and we ran in the back, saved enough fuel to go an extra lap, and we nailed our pit stop and gapped them by like 10 seconds. And we could tell they were kind of saving fuel like we were, so we weren't really too worried about them catching up, and just had enough. I ran out right as soon as I crossed the line.
And that's what I was wondering as well, was if you were going to have enough to make it there to the end or not, because you then had to lead those couple of laps without having that draft help. Whereas, and you saw also that the 03 who was kind of following that group, or was leading the group, I should say, as soon as he got to the front, he dropped to the back. I was kind of figuring he was going full save mode, where he still wound up having to make a pit stop there. But yeah, so then when I saw you up front, I was kind of wondering, it's like, all right, is he going to have enough to make it to the end? So you guys were able to just stretch it out enough. So again, congrats on the win, and definitely want to give you opportunity here for any thanks and shouts you'd like to give, I should say, for pulling off the win tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Lucky Dogs, my sponsor, teammates, Kevin and Dale for helping us out there, saving fuel, Eric, Gabe for pushing me to the win there, Matt Quick, but he's not here tonight. That's about it. You guys for putting on a good show.
Yeah, you guys did a really good job tonight. I say really good teamwork, and I say it's definitely something that other teams will want to take note of and try to kind of copy what you guys are able to do there. So yeah, so congrats again, Raymond. good win there, and say look forward to catching you in some of the future races.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, so that was our race winner there, the number 87 Raymond Rittenauer, getting the push from his teammate Gabe Butler, as well as some of his other teammates in that draft group that unfortunately just kind of fell out, unfortunately. However, really good job by them nailing those pit stops, saving the field, doing everything right that they needed to make happen there to be able to hang on to that win. So let's say for myself, let's say unfortunately weren't able to catch with Corey Lane, try to get a third place finish interview from him, but I want to definitely mention that 10 car, great job tonight, and coming home in third position. So for myself with Area 51 Racing League here tonight, actually, I'm sorry, for myself with Green White Checker TV with the Area 51 Racing League doing the Superspeedway series tonight from Talladega. Congrats again to Raymond, and I'm jumping the gun here because I need to go over the results with you all. I apologize. I'm all sorts of thrown off here. Let's go through the results first. Again, we got our top three there. Raymond Rittenauer, Corey Lane, Gabe Butler, Craig Forsyth just able to sneak enough around to hang on to that fourth place before Jim Brooks with the full head of steam was able to get there in fifth. Kevin Hash able to pull off the sixth place finish. And then I see those who were a lap down there with Jack Walls, Art Peck, Dwight Plush, Timothy Wright. I say some of those guys just had to either pit or didn't have enough fuel to make it there to the end. So you see 11th through 20th here. Some of those drivers just had really good runs, just didn't quite go to plan, unfortunately for them at the end and for that. And then as we go through the remainder of the field there, say Jimmy Crow was up front there early, unfortunately just didn't have the result he was looking for at the very end there. So now actually for myself with Green White Checker TV and with the Area 51 Racing League here, Superspeedway Series at Talladega, I want to thank you all for joining me, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and a reminder to stay home, stay safe, wash your hands, and definitely enjoy the remainder of the NASCAR race, which I believe is still going on at Charlotte. So have a good night, and I'll catch you all on Tuesday. All right, take care.